Welcome back, everyone. We are visiting with Mariah Prussia, talking about her time training with the Navy SEALs. Of course, we were talking about all of the challenges that you had, and physically how it would be hard, and you were cold. But I wanted to talk a little bit, and I was looking on the website for these, Navy SEAL crucibles, and they said that it's a lot about learning methods of personal control, transformation, teamwork. You talked about that. Can you talk about the emotional and mental level of this whole experience?
Well, everybody gets to that point where you're like, okay, can I do this? Can I push through? So on and so forth. And then you look at the person that's next to you. And we did a lot of different team challenges too, to help with the emotional, with those mental pieces in that mountain, where we're holding 40-pound sandbags over our heads for 2 minutes. And if one person drops, well, then the entire team suffers. So we work different components where how can we, when hanging on to these sandbags, if somebody's faltering, work with them so that you're taking your sandbags, sliding up underneath and really bracing so that everybody is successful. Those different team building perspectives really helped push through those mental pieces. Now, when I came out of eating, that was probably the hardest challenge for me. My knees were swollen, they were huge, and I was like, okay, Mariah, why are you doing this? And then my mantra of define the fight kept going through my head, where I've never quit something in my life. So why would I want to quit now? And it gets to the point where I started watching the sun. Where is the sun in the sky, knowing, okay, I've already achieved X amount of hours. The sun is getting lower. And then when we started rucking with our backpacks, 40 pounds and lifting people, it was to the point where it was completely pitch black. So it was, again, it's step by step. When we try to look at the end all, that's when our mind really starts to falter, and it's focusing on the people around you and taking, again, out of yourself and focusing on others was the real mental component to get through.
And it is so, easier said than done sometimes, I think, too. But I love that you talked about visualization, because visualization is huge with athletes, as you obviously know. But that, focusing on the sun and where it's going and all of that, and just paying, you've got to focus on something different. And so that is so hugely important. So,
and those points too, they spoke about focus on your breath. When you can control your breath, you can control your shivering, and also focusing on your breath, you can heat your body from the inside out. And then positivity, and then the visualization and the team perspective. They're all about mindset, and that's what we're working on. I'm in California again right now this weekend, where I'm here until Tuesday going through more realms, but the theme this weekend is resiliency. And we'll be doing clearly more physical mountains, but it's a lot of mental this week, so that whatever I learn and how I empower myself, now I can translate and take this back to Fargo, where I can help others transform into their best self.
I was going to ask you that. I know this was a challenge for yourself, but you have so many things going on here in town as well. Define the fight, your kickboxing, your self-defense. How will this benefit your clients here?
Well, it'll benefit hugely, because the program I'm actually going through is a year long. So it's not just one crucible. I have many crucibles that I'll be flying out for. And the stronger that I become and the more that I learn about tapping into my potential, the more apt I'm able to help others. So, we think that when we're in our 20s, we know it all when it comes to mindset. We haven't even scratched the surface. So now, being in my 40s, I know that personally I want to tap into my full potential. And working with my 6-week Define the Fight camp, which starts now again, March 29th, I just concluded with one group that is also going into the next lesson, which is really in those trenches of the mind. They found out too, it's like, this is fitness and health and well-being is more than just working out. It's more than nutrition. Is if you can't win in your mind, you can't win in the battle. So that's really what it comes down to, is that's where you define the fight.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's great. How can people follow you? What's the best way to follow and get in touch with you?
You bet. So my athlete page is probably where I post the most when it comes to the crucibles, which is Mariah MPX Prussia. Or if they're looking for events, they can go to MPX Fitness Fargo for our self-defense, for our Define the Fight camp. All of those different components will be found there.
Okay. And we'll have to have you back on as well.
Absolutely. Can't wait. Good luck this weekend, too.
Thank you.
Stay with us. Coming up next on North Dakota Today, how you can help support the Big Brother Big Sister program with a cool new virtual event.